So today we are bringing you guys to our very first episode of our new series that we are going to be calling Funeral Literacy, which is going to be more of an educational presentation of the different things that make funeral profession what it is. Everything from hearses to caskets to processes. We're going to teach you everything that you could possibly want to know and help bridge that gap between those who have the knowledge and those who don't. So we want to make sure that everybody is educated on their decision making before they actually have to make any decisions. So come with us.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
Welcome to Return Home.
I'm so excited to be here.
We're honored to have you.
Swing on in.
Let's go. So there's a couple of things that we want to go through right off the bat, and it starts with talking about our vessel system. So everybody gets their own vessel. The measurements are 3.5 by 3.5 by 8 foot, so they're pretty sizable. And what we do is there's a couple of probes that go into the vessel that allow us to constantly monitor the oxygen, temperature, and moisture level of the pod. So what goes into the vessel is what we call organics, and it's made up of a mixture of sawdust, straw, and alfalfa. And what we do is we fill that vessel about halfway full, just over that first probe, and the person is laid in on top of that organic material. More is placed on top, and that's it. So that is what's inside of the vessel. The organics, the person, and then a couple of holes for probes so that we can monitor it constantly. The organics, I was just gonna say they are at a 4-to-1 ratio to the person's body weight. So
Is there a maximum on body weight?
yes, yeah, I'm glad you asked. We think it's around 400 pounds right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're at this point guessing. We've never come to that capacity yet, but we will learn, I'm sure, as we go along.
Yeah.
We're on the high end.
Perfect.
Our science is dialed to the point where we can take somebody's body fat percentage and take that into consideration while we're loading the organics so that we can use the correct ratio. So a 200-pound person, 800 pounds of organics, so a total of 1,000 pounds inside of these vessels.
Holy moly, that's a lot. Okay.
It's a lot of material.
Yeah. So in short, they're placed on our racking system in front of house. It's like an above ground temporary mausoleum is how I think about it, actually. I see them as kind of residents, but temporarily. And they just stay there for about 3 weeks. And what happens is the microbes in the body transform the person alongside of the assistance from the organic material that's like nitrogen rich. So it's allowing it to bring it up to a temperature where in 30 days, the body has completely transformed into soil. We'll show you what happens at the 3-week mark to make that.
I'm still in
No,
shock.
it's the truth.
And we've seen it now many times, and it's extraordinary. It really is.
So what happens when the body goes in is the bulking agent goes in. We put a little bit of oxygen, about 1/3 of a hairdryer's worth, and it rises to temperature extremely quickly. So to the tune of 160, 165 degrees. And what that does is it takes the microbes in the body and it puts them on hyperdrive. So we are running along the cycle of nature. It's just that we're making it move very, very quickly. A month into the process, the body is completely gone. We have bones and we have some teeth. It's very analogous to cremation. When we're done, we take those, we screen it. We have soil, which is done after a month. We screen it and leave bones and teeth. We reduce those bones and teeth, reintroduce them to the soil, in a process quite similar to cremation where we have that final product as well.
Yeah.
Leave that soil for 1 more month, and we're done and we deliver it.
Where do you deliver it to?
Well, to the family first and foremost, if they want it. So we're discussing options for making sure that we can take people back to their loved ones and back home, you know. But if there is excess, and this is
That sounds like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it ends up being about 700 pounds or a cubic yard to a cubic yard and a half. So it's quite a lot of material. And what we've done is, because we are an urban option, there, people in downtown Seattle are choosing our services to weigh out and squim. So there are people with the land to accommodate that, and then there are people without. For those without, we own an area just north of here, a couple miles, and it's in a green belt, so it's not developable. And we own 8 acres, and so we are scattering people there if there's excess. And then there's a really beautiful walking trail and creek that runs just below that area, so we give people the trailhead information, and that way if they want to, they can go take a walk and know that their loved one is revitalizing and helping the local flora flourish. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
So we make it easy on people. If they'd like it all, they can have it. And if not, at no additional cost, we will help them put it back into the earth.
That's awesome.
It's quite a transition. And nothing would be complete. Go 4-3. This is a drier one because it's had a looser top, so you can check that out.
This is when it's been exposed to air for several months.
It's like tea almost.
It is.
It's so dry, and this is what we have if it's our standard compost. And it, honest to goodness, is...
Wow.
I liken it to tobacco almost.
Yeah.
And it has no odor. I mean, it has odor, it's soil.
I mean,
Yeah,
It smells like a mushroom or something.
It's what you would put in your yard.
that's awesome.
And so it's a beautiful thing to give back to the families and deeply impactful. People really, really...
On average, the people that take back a portion, how much are they taking? Are they taking all? Are they taking like a smaller? I mean, I see that you have like containers.
Yeah, it's been a large swath so far. A couple of families want the full amount returned to them. A couple of families are like, the full amount can go. We want this to go back to Washington State Forest. So I'm finding people who take portions. We have a form that offers like 5-10 pound portions, or a customized size if you have a bin or something you want to bring in separately. But really I'm finding mostly 10 pound portions, and that's what we can ship via USPS too, which is the same as like cremated remains.
Oh, okay.
About 10 pounds will fit into the size of shipping container. So yeah.
There's just no one size fits all, no pun intended. Everyone has a different requirement.
So if somebody wanted to take this, for example, their 5 pound bag or whatever, and scatter it in the sea afterwards, totally doable.
Yeah.
Our law is identical to that of cremated remains.
That is
so we are
great.
completely identically situated. The legislation is word for word the same.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome.
It's
NOR is just added into what existed
We've
previously.
added
And there's some
and
new
added,
things too,
yeah.
but in that regard, yeah.
And then what makes it so great is, that old adage where someone says, I just wish I could be a tree. We're like, I think we can help. I think we have something that can help you. And for our people, that's really, I think, really inspiring to them.
That is super cool.
Yep.
And to be clear, these were pigs.
Very good.
Once pigs, now soil. And I have taken some of this home, and I have a ton of houseplants, and I have a big flower garden. Everything that I've put a little layer of this upon has just really blown up. It's been pretty extraordinary to see. Because I'm a science person. I was an embalmer. I really like science. That's where my brain is at all times. So I wanted to see if it actually worked. And it really actually is very nutritionally dense. Yeah,
Wow.
it's cool.
The only caution we would make is this is nutritionally dense. Do not make a giant mountain of it and plant a tree in it.
Right.
It is a soil amendment. It is not, straight to planting.
Mixed
Right.
in with
This
soil.
is to
Do you-
fortify the soil.
Do you also caution people to avoid planting fruits and vegetables in it as well?
It's not legal to do so. I mean, for private use, families can do whatever they want. And actually, I've been working with a family who has now pre-arrangements that his mother had a beautiful vegetable garden, and that's his intention. On private land, they can do whatever they want. But for, of course, commercial use and things like that, it's an absolute no-go.
One way or another, we're going back to the earth.
Mhm.
One way or another, that's going to restart the cycle of life, and plants are going to grow. So sooner or later, we will do that. But yeah, the immediate law is we cannot use them commercially for food production.
Mm-hmm.
So there
Very
we go.
cool.
Yep.
I think this concept would be awesome on a space station.
Right? Yeah.
Think about that.
It really
if we were,
would.
Like, trying to grow another, like terramate another planet or something, like this would be freaking phenomenal.
It's true.
It is. You know, my wife just.
Here we go.
Excellent.
Okay, so welcome to the first large-scale Terramation facility ever built. So what you see here is front of house. So before we get into all the science, we'll talk about layout.
Okay.
This is completely accessible to the public. It's extremely important to us that anyone can come in, anyone can visit, be they someone visiting their loved one here or someone wanting to see what we do. The challenge, of course, that we have is that the world doesn't know what this is. And the only way for that to be made clear is for people to come here.
Okay.
So from this door here, all the way to back there is what we call front of house.
Okay.
These are our vessels. Many people think this is a simple process. It is anything but. If you look above you, you'll see the silver tubes. It is called octopus, and it runs air through our entire facility. It's kind of like HAL in 2001 Space Odyssey. So yes, it moves air, but it does a lot. And you're going to see as we go through the facility how octopus interacts with everything that we do.
Okay.
So for starters, let's do a little bit of a technology tour. So before we start, actually, this is an aerobic process. That means we return home, we move air. That's what we do. Yes, of course, we terramate human remains, and that's very important, but our ability to move oxygen through our vessels is the center of what we do. If we are running oxygen through successfully, we're going to have a lovely day, and if we have no oxygen going through, it's anaerobic. That produces methane. Methane is polluting and explosive, and we don't want methane, and so we never have it. And that's because we take a great deal of care in what we do. The way we deal with this is there are three measurements. There's temperature, airflow, and moisture, and we monitor them constantly for every vessel 24 hours a day. Ready? So what we're going to do now is what we call a quick flow of body tour. We're going to go from our front here all the way through the process.
Perfect.
Okay. So this is, and I'm delighted to say, no longer hypothetical. We have our cooler finally delivered. COVID only delayed it 8 months.
That's actually not bad, right?
We're deeply grateful. If I complain, please, I love the guys at American Mortuary Cooler. They're the best. So they've built us this beautiful cooler, 16 body, and we will start here. So we start with organics, as Bree was saying. We work with large quantities, right? So as Bree said, with a 200-pound body, you have 800 pounds of organics.
Yes.
If you're doing 3 or 4 decedents in a given day, you have thousands of pounds, and so we have to have it automated. So our machine back there mixes up all our straw and alfalfa and sawdust, brings it up here. We place the vessel right here. We place a layer of organics at the bottom. Bree and the team put the decedent inside the vessel, and we fill the rest of the vessel up. Our requirement, Bree and I, for our team is that we have a gong there. All we ask, a gentle gong, 10 seconds, and wish our person a safe journey. That's all that we ask, because we want our people to have a safe journey. We close the lid, we take our vessel and we bring it to front of house and we plug it into Octopus and we leave it there for 3 weeks.
Okay.
All right, so that's when we plug it in and we are watching our metrics like a hawk.
Perfect.
Okay, the air that goes through our vessels comes through this biofilter and out that pipe right there, and here, come with me. This is all the odor the entire facility produces.
What order?
Thank you. Made me emotional. Won't hug you. But this is what our entire facility produces. And for me, even though there's all kinds of dramatic things inside the facility, standing here and seeing this is what, frankly, is really important. Because it's good for the earth and the way we do it, and it's good for the environment around our facility. It's just proof we work. And there you have it. We're locked out that side. Okay, so this is our mezzanine section. This is a really interesting space. You know, it wasn't one we planned. It's what the facility has. It's the roof of the existing office. But, as luck would have it, it has a sweeping view across all of our vessels. We think, we're waiting to find out, that the families are going to use them for their own services and for their own needs. We don't have a chapel. We don't intend to do that kind of thing, but we do see the need for some of these families to congregate here just because they're coming. So what are we doing? We're going to be laying a wall right there. In the back will be offices and space, but in the front here is a wide open plan, light chairs, people can sit down, people can spend time as they need to, and we'll just be here for them because we're finding they need to come here. And that was news to us. We didn't completely understand that. So
Invest in coloring books and puzzles.
coloring books and
Puzzles.
dude,
We already have crafty stuff downstairs.
Good job.
nice. You know, it reminds me of a ferry.
Yeah.
They put them on ferry boats.
Hang out.
Yeah.
Right.
Cribbage board.
Right. Yeah.
Because I could see people doing that, just coming in and just wanting to hang out here.
I'm getting that feel.
Yeah.
I think.
We hope so.
I think Crystal would have done that if we'd have given her a table here
Oh, yeah.
and more goodies and some things to spend her
She'd have come
day.
out here all day.
She'd have come out here. We'd have given her a cup of coffee. I think we have a lot of stuff to do there, and it would have been really exciting to be able to do that. So again, this is a space unlike any other, and we're really excited to see. What we'll be doing is, as we learn more about how people respond to this, our next facility will obviously be emphasizing more the customer experience and not just the technical aspects of what we do. So these are what we call wisps. This is our first iteration of what we'll be dressing. We are dressing the body in, and they're really beautiful. They're fully biodegradable cotton, and they come with all of this beautiful jewelry. Again, it's all biodegradable as well. We'll be iterating over time. We'll be constantly improving them, but this is our first iteration, and we're super excited about it. All of our decedents that we currently have in-house right now we're dressed in one. We're given one.
That's
So,
awesome.
super excited about it.
Roll with it.
All right. I want to thank you all for joining us for our first ever episode of our funeral literacy program, which is going to be educating people about the different versions or ideas behind funeral service. Thank you, Micah and Bree, for giving us a tour of your awesome facility. And if they have any questions out there, how do they reach out to you guys?
So you can reach us by calling 206-888-4663 or 206-888-HOME.
All right, guys, keep learning out there.